boys and girls, to another episode of the Think Positive podcast. That right there, the lady on the screen, your host, Kelly. She's the CEO of RK9.
Okay.
I'm just a guy who makes podcasts, and I'm sitting in the background. We're going to roll through this, and this is going to be a beautiful episode, because Kelly is super excited to talk to you about leash walking. Is that what we're doing today?
Yep.
So, on with the show, right?
Woo.
On with the show.
On with the show.
There you go.
So,
No. Before. How are you doing today?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm in the back.
Yeah.
Everything's fine back here. Kinda.
I'm sure. Great.
I'm glad everything's okay with you. Have you been having a wonderful week?
Oh yeah, it's been great.
Have you been doing some cool stuff with dogs?
Yeah.
Have you trained a beautiful, brave boy or girl?
Yeah. Yeah, I've had a lot of really cool clients lately, so it's been really fun.
That's cool. And you just got off of another cool event, which I was super excited about. I got to join you that time.
Yeah.
We were at what was the place called?
Midwest Coast Brewing Company.
Nice. A dog-friendly bar.
Mm-hmm.
They had the brewskis.
Yep.
They have the puppos.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they had creators and business people all alike.
Yep. All made, the event was put together by Chicago Dog Co. So if you want a bandana for your dog, or you, I guess, check them out. They're really cool. But yeah, super neat. A lot of cool vendors were there. It seems like they have the same event often. So check out their website for Midwest Coast Brewing Company, and they let you know what events are going on. They have a lot of really cool things.
And the coolest part was you got to see a couple cool dogs.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I saw a Boston Terrier, and not to be biased, but I had a Boston Terrier. And so, she stole my little heart. So it was really fun.
I enjoyed watching them because they got, like, one of the vendors had pup cups.
Yeah.
And you had a little video of it.
A coconut whip. It was like coconut whipped cream with their special treat inside. It was
really cool. I like that the Boston was like wings out when he did it. And he was like, I don't know, you can't see me back here, but just like had her arms out.
Like this.
Just snacking on the pup cup.
She was so polite, though. Her name was Lily. She was so polite when she was eating it. If you go on to my Instagram, her video's on there, so go check it out.
Yeah, shout out to that pupperoonie.
Oh yeah, she's the best.
Yeah, no, that was a great event, great show. But you know what's a greater show? The Think Positive podcast. So leash walking is the name of the day, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I have had a ton of clients who have had leash walking questions and issues. So I figured it'd be really cool to do a podcast and have everyone kind of get the layout of leash walking and a couple little tips to help you out a little at home. This is going to be very different for everybody, but leash walking really starts at home. So be at home, start at home, practice in your home, and that's the biggest tip of the day. Do it at home. So do that. It's going to save you a lot of time. And I know it doesn't really make sense because when we think of leash walking, we're out on the street and we're walking on the street and everything's, outside. But outside, you're thinking, this is grade 7 or 8. And inside is grade 1. And you got to start in first grade before you go to grade 7. So start low. And then you can graduate a little bit. So start at home, practice at home every day for just a couple minutes every day, and you'll be great outside.
Question.
Yeah.
So, I think the most important thing is, or at least the most important question on most people's minds, is how do you choose which leash you're going to start with, or which is the best leash for your dog in general?
Yeah. It's going to be, a little different for everybody, but if you have a really strong puller, something like a front clip harness is going to be really nice. I really like Easy Walk. This is a company that I suggest to clients a lot. What it does is clip on by the chest, and you can just use a regular leash for it. But yeah, what it does is it connects to the front by the chest here, and if your dog is a really bad puller, the reason it clips here is it'll pull your dog around by their chest. That's where all the power is right here, right? So when they pull, it'll pull their whole body around, and then they'll kind of be off balance a little bit, and they won't pull as bad. It's not saying that they won't pull at all. I know it says it's a no pull harness, but it won't necessarily stop their pulling completely, but it'll limit it a little bit until you can train it up a little. So yeah, you want the front clip harness, not a fabric harness, because just like our clothes, if you tug and you pull on it, it's going to stretch and it's going to move, right? So something that is strong, that is leash-like, that is really connected and will not move. That's what you want. So I really like Easy Walk. I know my mentor, Victoria Stillwell, makes her own leash. There's so many different brands, but a front clip harness is going to be a lifesaver. But yeah, front clip, do it there, practice at home, and then go out on the street with it. So that's going to be your best bet. You want a leash that's a normal flat leash, right? It can be, depending on where you are, something urban, like in Chicago where I am. You want something that is maybe a 6 or an 8 foot leash, but you don't want to go really, really short, because that can cause a little bit of frustration and make pulling even worse. So I wouldn't suggest doing like a 4, or sometimes even they have 5 foot, or sometimes dogs with 6 foot leashes pull a ton, and that's too short for them. So 6 or an 8 foot are great options for dogs. You want to give them some room, let them smell. Their whole goal is to sniff the ground and sniff and explore. That's why they're pulling you. So granted, you don't want them to be pulling you all around everywhere, but their goal is to get to a thing. So you got to let them get to the thing, but don't let them pull you to get there, right? So as soon as you can walk and get there without, tug, then they can smell the thing, and whoo, there you go.
All right. So, secondary question, because I think we've talked about it a few times, or at least you have talked about it, is that on walks, smelling is the goal, right? Mm-hmm. So, obviously, people have their own mindset on walking. We're just going to walk this path and then go home. Mm-hmm. Dogs apparently have their own mindset of, I smell something and I want to go towards that smell. So how do you balance, let the dog lead, or we walk our basic path? Do you feel like there should be like scheduled, like, these 2 times we walk this path. These times, this is your free time. How do you balance it? What do you think should be the balance? What do you think is the ideal walk?
There are 3 types of walks, right? So there are a pee walk, or like a potty walk, I guess you could say. So that's a real quick, you're going outside to go to the bathroom, and then we come right back in. So those are really good for super duper hot days, and it's really freaking cold outside days, right? The next walk is your every day, we're going outside to explore kind of days, right? Those are, we're going our regular path, we're going on, wherever we're going to go. You can kind of have a path for those, and you really want your dog to sniff on those walks. But, you kind of do have a route to go on, and you go there. You can incorporate training into those walks, but it's important for your dog to smell also. So it's a good mix. So you want you can kind of split it in half, is what I say. So half of the walk is, okay, we're in training mode where you walk directly beside me, you do some obedience training, and then half of the walk you can smell around and do what you want to do. But we're going on this route, and that's what we're doing. And then the third walk, they have different names for it, but they're called sniffy walks or exploratory walks. And this is the kind of walk where you can go to like a really big park. It doesn't matter if it's gated or not, but you're going to have a really long line. And you can do like a 30-foot, a 50-foot, or 100-foot, depending on how big your area is. And you just let your dog go, right? You let them walk as far as they want to go. Your job is to keep up with them. Let them go wherever they want to go. They're going to kind of do this move where they're snaking around and smelling everything. And that's how dogs smell or track smells, right? So they catch a smell and they're going to like, okay, it was that way. And then the air took it that way. And then the air takes it this way. And that's how they're just going to explore that way, right? So your job is just to follow them. They lead the way. You take them wherever they want to go. As long as it's safe, let them lead. But yeah, you have those 3 walks. And with the exploratory walk, you can also do that on your regular street as well. You can do just your normal 6 to 8 foot leash and just let them lead the way as long as they're safe, obviously. And just, you want to go left instead of the normal right that we take? Cool, let's go that way. Let them sniff as much as as much as you want, and then as soon as you make it home, you make it home. But yeah, it's those 3 walks are super duper important, and I would say you want to mix them up and do them throughout the week so that your dog gets a good amount of stress relief. That's what the sniffy walks are for. The mental enrichment and training and education, which is what the training walks are for. And then, your potty breaks are, look, it's not always about going out here to do fun stuff. We're here to do this and come right back in. So, it's good to do all of those, all different times throughout the week. So mix it up.
All right. So, I guess the last thing we should probably go through is, now that you have a favorite leash and different types of walks, I guess the last thing is how often. So, some people are like, walk every day, or some people are like, the bathroom walks, as now we know, are the only walks that are necessary. So, I would say maybe your depiction. What's a solid, if we were going through a Sunday through Saturday, what's the kind of walks you expect to do throughout that week, or what's the schedule of walks throughout that week, I guess?
It really depends on, a lot of different factors, but you're going to find the schedule that really works for you and your dog. If you have a very young puppy, you're not going on very long walks often, right? Puppies need a lot of rest and a lot of downtime. They don't have a lot of energy. It does seem like they do, but they don't have a lot of time where they can just do all this running around outside and be cool with it. So yeah, it's good to, or older dogs too. They can't handle, an hour walk or, all this stuff. So it really depends on your dog. It depends on, the weather outside too. So we really have to take into factor the heat and the temperature of the pavement too. If you touch the pavement with the back of your hand and you can't leave your hand there for 10 seconds, it's too hot for your dog to walk. So really pay attention to that. They do have strong paw pads, but if the heat is really bad, like like it has been over the summer, those paw pads can really be damaged by the heat of the pavement. So keep your walks kind of short when it's really hot or really cold. So do that. You could also buy, shoes for your dogs. They do have those that could protect them from that, and then you can go a little bit longer, but you still want to take into a factor of it's freaking hot out here and they don't want to be out there for that long either. So yeah, it's a lot of like, what do they need at this point of time? So if your dog has been at home and you've been at work all day long, all week long, it's probably a good idea to give them a good sniffy walk and just let them decompress and really relax and sniff everything and get all those like feelings out, So yeah, just see what's going on and go from there.
Because it's for sure you're at least out for the potty walks, 2-3 times a day, I'm assuming?
At least I would say 3 times a day. If you have a puppy or a senior dog, you're probably going out more, but right. At least 3.
You have 3 of those a day? Do you think it would still be necessary to have an additional walk? Just a regular walk throughout the day as well?
I would say yeah.
And then just the exploratory walks or the sniffy walks maybe once a week maybe?
Yeah.
Or more often, what do you think?
Yeah, I would say at least once a week. If you can, I would do twice or even 3 times if you can. If you have a dog that is more sensitive or stressed in an environment, doing more of those walks, the sniffy walks are going to be more beneficial for you because that relieves stress is sniffing for them. So doing more of those is going to be way better for them. So do that.
All right. So there you have it. It is as much as you didn't think so. More walks, better. Mm-hmm. So that's all. I was always under the impression, I'm never going to lie and admit that that's not the case, that walks were just for bathroom breaks and maybe an additional bit of exercise here and there. Mm-hmm.
And it's great for exercise, but it's good for stress relief, too. It's good for that.
Right, very true. So, there you go. A little more walking. A little more exercise for yourself.
Yes.
So, you get out, get your dog out, and those will all be helpful things.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to take a small break now. Mm-hmm. Come right back. We got a few more questions to answer from you guys because you guys sent in a few more questions, and then we'll end the show there.
Cool.
So, see you soon.
All right.
Welcome back to the Think Positive podcast. Your host is still here, Kelly Weekly. I'm just a guy in the background. They call me F and Bob on occasions. But yeah. So, questions that were asked of the trainer. And I think these are some doozies. Oh, you guys are getting creative this time. Some creative, some that I've never actually thought of past that point. So here's a great one. Why does my dog lick me? I have no idea why. I've always thought they were kisses, but now I'm not thinking it's the same. So what is it?
So there's a couple reasons. You could have some leftover food residue on your skin, right? So it could just be, you ate something tasty and there's still some taste on your fingers or whatever. Dogs have a heightened sense of salt on their tongues. That's like the dominant taste bud is salt. So our sweat on our skin tastes kind of nice to them. So yeah, we taste kind of nice for them. And licking is kind of a sign of appeasement and, hey, I kind of like you a little bit. So when they really, really like you, that is a way of affection too. So it's a couple things, but yeah.
So actually still all nice things.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that dogs thought we taste good, so that's kind of concerning.
No.
All right, here's a great one. Do dogs dream? I've noticed that my dog seems to be running in his sleep, and I don't know if he's dreaming or is that just a natural a reaction that he has. Is this a medical thing that I need to be concerned with?
What is it?
What is
right.
it?
What
What
is
is it? A lot of what is it questions, huh?
There is a study. I want to say it's from Columbia University. I can't remember right now. But there is a study that said that dogs do dream of what we don't really know, but we think, because we can't read their minds, they can't really tell us, but we think it's of their regular day. So when it kind of looks like they're running, they probably are running. And when they're barking in their sleep, they probably are barking in their dream. It's just like us talking in our sleep, or, waving our hands in our sleep. It's the same kind of thing. They do dream. And their brain sensors do go off in the same way as us when we dream, as they do when they dream. So, yeah, dogs dream. But it is hard to say because we can't read their minds and they can't tell us. So we think so, but we don't know for sure.
All right. And I'm assuming there's nothing medically wrong with the dogs.
No.
It's just
pay attention to seizure-like behaviors. So taking videos of situations that look like seizures, like twitches and things like that, and just verifying with your vets is the best thing you can do. But a lot of the time, seizures in dogs are pretty common and most of the time aren't a big deal. But the best thing you can do is take videos of it and show your vet, get verification from your vet. So, but a lot of the time it's not. It's just a dream.
all right. Next question. My dog seems to be eating my lawn bare. He's eating grass consistently on a daily basis.
Oh.
I feel like I'm feeding him enough, but is it something in the grass that he likes, or is he hates my food?
I thought it was a lawn bear, like a.
No.
Okay.
He's just eating a lot of lawn.
A lot of lawn. Okay. So, no, grass tastes great to dogs. It just tastes really good. Grass also calms like their stomach down. It's kind of like I guess Pepto or like Tums for us. I don't know if Tums does that. Something to calm their stomach down. So yeah, grass just it's basically like a natural stomach chiller outer. So it's cool, it's fine, it's no big deal. You want to watch if they do have like diarrhea or if they have some signs of like are they throwing up, or is it a certain time of day that they're eating the grass? They could possibly have some like acid reflux type of thing. Because that could also be like they're trying to like calm something down that's right here, and so they're eating the grass to like cool, chill out. So a lot of the times, and again, I'm not a vet, so please talk to your vet. But a lot of the times, some dogs, if they're just eating twice a day, right, and they're not eating at a long period in between, like let's say they eat at like 5 o'clock at night and they don't eat again until about 7 in the morning, that's a long stretch of period in between. And so acid in the stomach builds up, and acid reflux comes up through there. So giving them a small snack before they go to bed in the night could cool down their stomach because their stomach's not empty. And that'll calm down their stomach. Possibly they won't eat grass as much after then. But that's just one example. And I'm not saying that's the reason, but it's just one thing that could be happening.
Yeah,
So.
And it possibly could be that you're, I'm assuming, overfeeding. Because, like you were saying, like if you're feeding it only twice a day, you might be overfeeding in the morning. And then he's snacking throughout the day because he's just like, all right, I ate too much in the morning.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
Stomach's upset.
Stomach's a little upset. And then because he knows he's not going to get that next meal till later in the day.
Yeah.
Something that you've brought up before, pumpkin.
Yes.
So try pumpkin, feed him a little pumpkin, see if that calms it down.
Diet change.
I was going to say switching up the food, possibly. As long as there's no diarrhea, it's probably nothing medically horrific. But
also talk to your vet.
Right.
You know, make sure your vet is going to be your best friend. So if anything weird like that is happening,
right.
Talk to your vet. Tell them listen, they're eating my grass a lot. And tell them it's excessive. And let them run some things and see what's happening.
Especially if you, I'm assuming, because you care enough about your lawn to ask as well, especially if you're using chemicals in your grass, you know, harsh fertilizers, pesticides, stuff like that.
Fertilizer is actually very harmful.
Right.
So
if you're, and again, this is just non-dog grass guy stuff. If you care about your lawn and you're using good stuff, you're probably putting some bad stuff in there, so just in case. But if it's not, then it's probably you're just feeding your dog too much, too little, improper. Check out your feeding patterns, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So
there you go. Something I could have jumped in on this time. Huh?
Look at that.
I'm a lawn guy.
Yeah, look at that. There you go.
So just be careful. That's all. That's a not much of a trainer question, but definitely something that's behavior that you're looking out for. So, but hey, maybe you just have really tasty grass. What kind of grass do you have? I'm curious. Right back. Let me know. Is it Kentucky Blue? If you're rocking to Kentucky Blue and your dog's eating that stuff
props to you. But also, I'm sorry, that's expensive.
Expensive grass. That's some expensive grass. What brand are you using? I'm trying to regrow my yard, so I'm just saying. Do you thatch it often? You pick it up today. He might just be eating dead leaves. You don't know. Maybe he's trying to help you. He sees you out there every day cutting the grass, keeping it nice and trim, and he's just like, I'm out here trying to chew it up for you.
Right. Like, I'm helping you out.
See? It could be a lot of things, especially if he's not sick. So I'm assuming you know he's not sick because you didn't ask that part. So maybe he just wants to help.
Yeah.
He just wants to help you out. All right. Another interesting question. This one I'm actually very interested. Matter of fact, I'm gonna save that one for last. I'm gonna go to the other one. I'm gonna come back for this one.
Okay.
Second to last question. Why do dogs bury their toys and food? What's up? I actually always want to know that. I'm a Tom and Jerry kid. And, all the dogs be bearing bones and stuff. What's to
it? Certain breeds, that's kind of what they do. Like that's part of their breed and very, very in character for them, I guess. So yeah, it's kind of a natural thing for them. But yeah, they could just, it's fun to dig. It's fun to find a thing later on. So it's a fun thing to do. And they'll dig it up and find it later. It could come from a learning theory. They come at it from learning it from the past. So they saw another dog burying something and finding food later on when there was no food around. And so they just learned that when I have something that's really good and really tasty, I'm going to hide it because I'll find it later and I'll have it later. But yeah, a lot of the time it's just natural. This is in their breed and that's what they do.
I've actually heard that if a dog will take something that you like and bury it, they're just trying to get at you. Is that a thing?
No.
They're just like, well, if you like watching TV, I'm gonna steal a remote and bury it.
No.
So that's not a thing?
No, not a thing.
Okay. It was just a thought. That's pretty cool information there. No. All right, so here's the one that I would like to know. Mm-hmm. Why do dogs chase their tails and bite them? And this person says, I think my dog is dumb. No. Because he chases and bites his tail consistently. And it's just all he likes to do. We bought him toys, we bought him chew items, and he prefers to chase and bite his own tail.
Yeah.
So now, what's up with that?
I this is just personally. I think it's because the tail's always moving, right? Mm-hmm. And it's moving. It's a moving thing that's always moving, and it's hard to get to, so it's a challenge. And then it's when you do get it, it's it's hard to get to. So yeah, it just goes back to their I guess hunting and grabbing nature. So I haven't read anything about it. I guess I should. But I think it's more of like this thing is always moving and it's there. It looks like a lure because a lot of the time it's a fluffy tail. So it's if you look at like lures, it's like a fluffy thing and it moves kind of like that. It's a back and forth and it's really fluffy like. So yeah, it's just it's fun to chase. It's fun to catch. And it's fun to have something that's always moving. So a lot of their toys, once they're playing with a thing, it stops moving eventually. Because you might be playing with them, but you drop it, and it doesn't move anymore. Because when you're like tugging with them, like you're moving it, and you might be playing with them a little bit, but then eventually like they'll take it, and they're off on their own, and the toy doesn't really move anymore. But it's more fun when the thing they're trying to play with is always constantly on the move. They're trying to chase things. But I don't actually know. That's just a personal guess.
Well, it's a solid personal guess. But I guess we're all gonna safely assume the dog's not crazy.
No. He's not dumb.
Not a dumb dog, just
trying to find something to do. He's probably bored.
Boredom seems like a good answer. My thought, and again, the uneducated thought was, I don't know, I thought it was like maybe he has fleas or something. I don't know.
Fleas don't really sit on the tail. They sit at the base of the tail and like the back of the neck.
Okay.
For the most part. So.
Well, there you go. So it's some extra info right there. If you're looking for fleas, back of the neck, base of the tail. Mm-hmm. Okay. Did not know that. I thought they can just be anywhere.
I mean, they do travel, but that's where you'll find most of them.
Okay. There you go. So, your dog's not dumb, and he probably ain't got fleas, but if he does, check the tail and the base of the tail, neck. Mm-hmm. Bam.
If you have a super, super fluffy dog, you may possibly find some on their belly, or at least you'll see crawling on their belly. Okay.
Well. But there you go. A little extra information. A two-parter. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, as that being said, I think that's been a fun episode, an informative episode. You learned something today. I hope you learned something today. Yeah. Any final words or thoughts or anything like that for you?
No. Follow me on Instagram at RK9 Training LLC. And if you are interested in dog training, go to www.rk9training.com, and I do in your home positive reinforcement training in the city of Chicago and virtual training no matter where you are. So follow those links.
All right. And all the links are available below. So all you got to do is just scroll down and click them. Mm-hmm. Other than that, that has been fun. It's been fun. This has been Think Positive, and we will see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.